All right. Good evening, everybody. How's it going?
Good evening.
I'm using the old GH5 again. I kind of put it up a little
Oh,
higher this time.
you're a little out of focus. It looks like it's focused on your game shelf.
It shouldn't be. I mean,
Well,
we
I
can.
think it is. But it still looks good. Looks clean.
I mean, that's as good as I can do, at least on the fly. I mean, I'm not gonna put it on the autofocus, but I mean, I could. Maybe I should experiment with that at some point in the future.
Oh yeah, that
The
looks better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at it up here, so I don't know. It's like it's too small for me to really see.
Yeah.
So, thanks for tuning in to this counter programming to the Super Bowl.
I didn't even know that the Super Bowl was today until like 11 p.m. yesterday.
Well,
I had no idea.
you're like, oh no. That's okay though. I mean, I have it on in the background. I really don't have any. I don't really care who wins.
No
Although,
stake.
I would prefer the Eagles to win because their head coach is from my hometown of
Oh,
Jamestown, New
what?
York,
Oh wow.
and it's
Not just Buffalo, but like the actual
like
town.
the actual town. So I mean,
Pretty crazy.
obviously, like that gives me a reason to want them to win. It'd be good for the good advertising for.
I wonder how similar in age you are. Like
Well,
you
I
went
guess
to the
it's like
same
a similar.
school.
His second his second season as head coach, but I mean, I don't know. Like, not. I can't imagine it's more than 10 to 12 years difference.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I wonder maybe you went to the same school.
Oh no, we didn't. We
Oh,
we definitely did not, because I would know because I graduated with like 60 people in my class.
I mean, I graduated with a similar number of people in my class, and I wouldn't know if any of them went on to do anything famous.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I like if I
I,
heard a
I,
name. If you heard a
I
name, would you be like, I don't know who that is, or would you say like, oh, I
oh,
definitely
well,
didn't go to school with that
oh, I
person?
mean, if I heard a name,
Yeah,
sure, but
yeah.
like I only occasionally hear from like just like two of my former classmates, really,
Yeah.
at this point. Very occasionally.
So yeah, I'm gonna play some Gato Roboto. I've heard that So I played this on a games I've never booted up stream for a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
and I thought like, oh, maybe I'll just like dedicate a entire stream to this because if, as far as I know, it's like maybe like 3 to 4 hours. That's what people were saying. Like, I don't think I'm gonna finish
Yeah,
it
yeah.
tonight.
You were really feeling it during that
Yeah,
stream too.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I thought that'd be kind of a fun thing to do tonight. Uh, I'm well. I'm better. Like I no
Not
longer have.
100%, but you're better.
Yeah, I mean, I have. I just like I get real tired easily. Like we went out to some friends have like this property like out in kind of like in the woods. They have like a tiny little house, and they
Little Evil Dead action.
I mean, it's smaller than that, but it's like out
Oh,
in the woods.
smaller than that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, that's not their like full time house. That's just like that's their getaway, And
Well,
they
I
go there and they don't
mean,
have like real like any like
I'll think of way
electricity or
more than that.
anything, and they just go out there and like we'll play like disc golf and stuff like that, and have a fire and whatever. Like sometimes fishing and stuff like that. But we'll go out, like they invite us out there every once in a while, and we went out there today, and man, like we were only there for like 3 hours, and I didn't really do like anything like physically active when I was there, and I was just like wiped out by the
Mm.
time. By the time we were on the way back, I was like, I closed my eyes in the car and like I think fell asleep for a little bit, and I don't fall asleep in the car very much. So unless it's just where it's just like that perfect temperature and that's the sun's shining on you, it just like feels so good to close your eyes. But I can never sleep because I'm always like my head's like always rolling one way or the other.
Mm.
So I'm just kind of dragging
Yeah,
a little,
let's
and I thought maybe we would just play some Gato Roboto.
sounds good. I saw Waitamus say thanks for my M2 Blu-ray arrived super quick. That was thanks. Some people might have seen on Instagram, and some people might have seen in more detail on the if you're on. Well, I don't. Did you might have shared it more widely than just Patreon and YouTube members? The YouTube version. Did you share that anywhere else,
The
or just the
YouTube
Instagram?
version of what?
The time lapse of packaging up the M2 Blu-rays
I
or
put it on
putting the
Twitter,
labels on. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
and I also put like another version on our Instagram. I uploaded like the shorter version to Instagram.
That going so fast was largely. I have no idea. This was in this little tiny quick video I did. But yeah, this little thermal printer, label printer, with all this stack of paper here. I could not have gotten it done quickly or cost effectively or anything else if I didn't.
And you know what's
hadn't
funny is like,
got this.
so you got that during the stream last week, and that was like immediately after we got done like talking a whole bunch of crap about printers. And
I know. And then well, that's right. It arrived during the stream last week because I ordered it just before the stream. It was like same day delivery, right? And I was just like a printer has never done just like what it should do. I don't think anyone could ever say that they love printers. They're a fan of printers. And then I get this, I'm like, man, this thing's kind of great.
Because it's built for one purpose. Although, I mean, I guess you could make like other labels and stuff if you wanted the labels and
You
stuff.
could if you had the right type of paper. I mean, there's in the drivers, you can even set like custom paper sizes. So if you had like some other shape of label, like you could do that.
Heck yeah.
What model thermal printer is it? It is a IDPRT.
It's like the 410 or something like that, right?
Yeah, what is it? SP410, yeah. But
it's Kiki the kitty. I didn't realize that the cat's name is Kiki.
You don't think the cat, I don't know if it's he or she, but you don't think the cat has metal joints?
I don't think so. I think it's just a cat.
It doesn't have metal joints that if you beat them up, you'll get 15 silver points.
15 silver points. Oh, of course. Yes. I know. It took me a second.
Show of hands in the chat here. How many people learned
the word Gato?
Roughly or loosely via Chrono Trigger that Gato is the Spanish word for cat, or that when you learned that Gato is the Spanish word for cat, the first thing that went to your mind is like, oh, that's why Gato and Chrono Trigger is called Gato. Because that was definitely me. I mean, I took German in high school, so I didn't learn Spanish. I mean, at all really, other than that I know a few little things like Gato is cat.
Gato is Spanish for the gato.
The gato.
Yeah. You've seen that old Chris Farley skit where he's like El Nino? It's just like his face. He's like, I am El Nino. El Nino is Spanish for the Nino.
The Nino.
I
You
was
know,
hoping I could turn
this
off that timer there.
I know you're probably playing on your little like IPS 4K screen, right?
Yeah.
But like this is the kind of game that would be both like perfect and at the same time make me nervous to play on OLED. Because like
Yes.
the black would look so good, but there's also so much just like 100% white
Yes,
on
exactly.
screen at all times. It'd make me a little nervous, but it would also look amazing.
Exactly. You know, I would be really
It would
nervous about
it
that.
would be fine, but it would make me a little nervous.
Unfortunately, this suit makes footstep sounds every time you take a
Oh
step.
no. That's like one of your top 2D game no-nos.
Yeah, I don't mind it on 3D games, but man, I just don't like footsteps in 2D games.
I can sympathize with this position. I don't I mean it's not like a deal breaker for me or nothing, but if I was the creative director on a 2D game, there would not be footsteps.
Or at least have it be an option to turn it off.
Yeah, but like no one ever does that. Like you can, disable sound effects or something like that.
Yeah. Well, if you're designing a 2D game and your character makes footstep sounds, like just make it an option to turn it off. There's nothing to be lost by.
Yeah, I mean it's not it's not authentic to the sound design of the eras that these games are trying to evoke, right?
Yeah.
There was all of a sudden
Woo!
rapid fire super chats. $5 super chat from Eric Reimers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, here's hoping Try gets to record some Metroid Prime for a DF Retro comparison vid. I have no idea what
As far as I know, he's not, because he's doing something in PSVR.
Yeah, so I don't know if like
Someone else
one of the
is
other
doing.
team members might
Yeah.
be doing
I think he said that
Metroid Prime.
I don't know. Am I even allowed to say that? I don't know. I can't imagine it'd be a problem. I think he said something about Oliver doing something on it. But
I mean,
John,
I'm
sure John really wanted to do it, but he was like doing this.
Yeah, I think the thing is John would love to do it, but I would imagine it's probably a priority. But
Yeah.
I think someone else is going to have to handle it. But I haven't played it yet. Did you get the digital download?
So yeah, I mean, I was looking for ways to justify.
You were trying to justify
To
it.
getting both. I thought immediately. I thought like, oh, it's going to be $60. And when it wasn't, I'm like, okay, well, like, what can I do to justify it? Like, getting both versions. And it finally came down to, I bought it from Target, and I didn't realize that this was a thing that they only had for a little bit, but Target had a deal where it was one of their buy one get one 50% off,
Right.
and that was listed as one of them. So I bought that,
It's a
and
pretty short-lived deal.
yeah, I didn't realize that I was even if it even was a deal at the time. Like, I was surprised that it was gone, because I just did it on my own. So when I got that for $20, like, well, you know what? I thought the game was going to be $60. So I feel like I can justify getting the physical for $20 and then buying the digital for $40. So I did. And I
Have
played
you
it.
played it much?
Yeah, I mean, when I played to what is it called? The fireplace.
Magmoor Caverns or
Yes.
something like that.
I played to there. And it's amazing. It's really, really good. The only thing that's like weirdly annoying to me about it and I feel like this is intentional, but I'm not quite sure why, is that when you shoot, when you press the button to shoot, it shoots 3 bullets like every time. Which makes it kind of annoying when you want to like do a charge shot. It's like boom, 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 and then it starts charging.
Huh.
I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't remember the original working that way.
No, it was one shot before.
I saw Aeromonato say Prime 2 is my favorite, so I'm really hoping they do all 4. I mean, I'm not like poo-pooing that opinion or anything, but like I feel like I never see that opinion, so I'm just saying I think that's interesting. I would imagine you get a lot of pushback against that. I have only played Prime 2 once, and like I remember like being disappointed, and honestly, like I couldn't tell you why. And even then, like I don't think I had like a super solid reason for not liking it all that much. Like it's just straight. It's just one of those things. It's just like I don't know why. I think I expected. I think how much I loved like Dark World, Light World interactions and A Link to the Past kind of set expectations for me, and maybe I was disappointed and it not playing out quite like I thought it would. But I mean, it's cool to see someone with a different opinion on that, I think.
I remember the bosses being the single boss, this boss being tougher.
I remember like very little of Prime 2. Like I mostly
I'm talking about this. When I played it, I think I played this first boss before.
At least it seems easy to retry.
Yeah.
Although you have to skip this cutscene again.
Yes.
Like my only like real visual memory of Prime 2 is like rolling around with the spider ball in the rain. Like that's about. I also remember kind of like the light temple area toward the end a little bit. Otherwise, I remember like so little about the game. But I would absolutely love to give it another chance. Aeromonato says Prime 2 treats the areas like Zelda dungeons. You go in, collect keys, beat the boss, and for the most part, you don't go back. Only 2 instances of backtracking in that game. I wonder if that was part of what made me kind of not feel like it was.
Yeah,
it was probably what I was looking for in Metroid.
Yeah, I didn't really care
you
for
could say
it
the same thing about some of the others like Fusion, and which I did consider a disappointment initially as well. Anyway, I need to get back on Super Chats because y'all are coming in fast and furious here. Which I had not watched that trailer, by the way, because
you haven't seen
Fast
it.
and the Furious.
I haven't seen the last like 2 either, but I just like watched I barely care.
I mean, I do think the interconnected plot is like so like it's such a stupid idea that I love it though. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the connections between everything is like that's it. The series has no right to do all that, and yet it does, and that's what's great about it.
Yeah.
I'm having a little stream trouble. Is it up for everyone?
That's showing green here.
Oh, it's back for me. Okay. Sorry. Mia, catch up on Super Chats here. Y'all going crazy. All right, there is is that am I reading that right? Mr. Nada? Mr. Nada? Mr. Nada, $10 Super Chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, love all your channel and all your content. Keep up the good work, guys. I used to stream this on Twitch to raise money for my cats I foster. And they need surgery to like. Oh, that's a fun idea.
That is really fun.
I'm sure you can find plenty of good folks willing to chip into that cause when you play a game such as Gato Roboto. There was also a $10 super chat from Andy64. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, what were the highlights of the Nintendo Direct? It's hard to beat Metroid Prime Remaster. Shadow Drop, right? Yeah, I mean, as long as it'd been rumored, it was definitely pretty cool to see that come out of nowhere all of a sudden.
I mean, I feel like I had heard about it being like that it existed. But I mean, as I was kind of like mussing to you like the other day, like I wonder like if this is like not the way. Honestly, like I guarantee you that Nintendo is selling like way more copies than they would if it was like
digital and physical.
If it was just like at the same time, it's like, oh, it's coming out in a couple days or a couple weeks. But I mean, if they go like, listen, we're gonna have, you can buy the digital right now, and in 2 weeks you can buy the physical. Like I guarantee you that so many people said, I need to play it right now. I'm gonna buy that, and then I'm gonna buy the physical.
I have held off, but I've certainly seen a lot of people saying they will do that. So.
Yeah, or have done it.
I mean, you know, it might be a little scummy potentially,
for sure. But you know what? Honestly, like I feel like I'd be totally okay with it. That if that's the way that they want to do it, because it's kind of like best of both worlds. Like it's out. You can get it physically in 2 weeks, and if it's like something you barely care about, it's like, okay, I can wait for that. Or if it's something that you absolutely want to play right then, you can. Mm-hmm. And then you just get the physical like when you want it.
I mean, I think Nintendo sits on a lot of stuff. Like, for a while. Like, I mean, hey, one of the highlights of the Direct was Advance Wars actually coming. It's finally happening.
Yeah.
That was really exciting. I thought that what was it called, like Deca Police or something like that?
Yeah.
That from level 5, like that, the visuals in that were great, and it looked like, you know, like potentially a good RPG and other gameplay elements that seemed interesting. That was an interesting surprise. What else was there? There was some something from Spike Chunsoft that kind of had like a Danganronpa kind of vibe to it that looked potentially intriguing. What else was there? I mean, Zelda definitely looks really, really good.
That's fine.
Yeah, level 5 is back. Like that's, you know, the funny thing is like I've actually never really clicked with a level 5 game outside of like Dragon Quest 8. And to a lesser extent Dragon Quest 9. Like I want to like their games so bad because I love their aesthetics and they're very polished, but like their gameplay just never really works for me. But you know, they're like, I want to give Dark Cloud 2 a second chance someday. You know, I beat Rogue Galaxy, but didn't particularly love it.
It's Jimbo report.
I hated the battle system in Ni no Kuni.
Yep.
But that game looked really cool. Hopefully I can tolerate the gameplay. But yeah, it's like, it's kind of been crazy, like how they were like constantly firing on all cylinders, and then they like they just vanished. Jeanne d'Arc, I have not. Well, I've booted it up, but I've not really played it. That one, I think I'll really like that. I think I will.
Yeah.
You know, as I've told the story a few times before, how, you know, Rogue Galaxy's final boss was like one of the few times I've like really thrown a controller, like seriously, like really thrown it out of just pure rage and anger.
Oh, I can use different palettes, color palettes.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
There's the.
Can you do a virtual boy?
There's soft, soft and bark. I don't know. Soft is like more of a black and white.
Oh, soft is like more of a gray scale.
Yeah. And bark is brownish.
I kind of like the bark.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it.
Or if you'll unlock more.
I'm sure. I mean, it seems like the kind of thing that they would have lots of unlockable.
Anyway, sorry, these super chats came in real fast.
Mm-hmm.
There was a 1999.
Dang.
From Scott Reisig. Thank you. Saying, hey guys, about to pull the trigger on the Mister. Really stuck on the analog versus digital I/O. I understand the simultaneous analog/digital versus extra RAM. Do you guys end up with both? I do not have a digital I/O version of the Mister. At all. I've got two Misters, and they're both, analog and digital. And I don't particularly feel limited by it as of right now. I'm not. I mean, PS1 plays fantastically. I don't use the PS1 core very much, but as far as I know, it's really, really good with the one stick of RAM. And I don't know if there's any.
I don't think there's really much.
I don't think there's like a humanly detectable difference.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Saturn, I've not heard the latest on like whether dual RAM is going to be necessary for that. I see Fenris Wolf Retro saying people want the extra RAM for Jaguar. I'm not really sure what the status of Jaguar is. I remember hearing some rumblings. But I think like Jaguar was one of the ones where people were like, "There's no way that that's going to work without dual RAM." Henry Clark says analog I/O board does not give you a power switch, so be aware of that. You can buy an inline or unplug when not used. Both of us recently got a new smaller Mister for the smaller form factor. We got a new one that does have
like the
power
Retro
switch
Castle
on top.
one, I think it was from.
Yeah. What was it? Retro Castle?
Yeah.
And also I've got a Jamix as well, which also has a power switch. If you plug it into your, whatever mini ITX computer case you get, or micro ITX, whatever it's called. You plug that into the header from the power on there. So there are ways to get power switches on Misters with the analog I/O, because there's quite a variety of form factors sold. But yeah, I mean, who knows? In the future, could see a use for the digital only. But I don't think if analog video means anything to you, then
by all means you should get it.
Then get the analog video one and don't feel like you're really missing out. Anyway, I mean, I as far as I know, everything that would where it would be useful is like totally speculative at this point. And there's already just so much you can do with it right now as it is.
Yeah.
So I don't particularly feel upset about it. In fact, don't quote me on this. Maybe some people in the chat could clarify, but if you have an analog I/O board, it might be a little janky, but I believe it should be entirely possible to just not plug the analog portion in. And then you've got that section free to plug a extra RAM stick in. If you just didn't plug the analog portion in. I'm not positive how easy or good that is to do, but I I think it would work. But anyway, moving on, there was also $22 super chat from I think it's 3 Dylan Star. I kind of wanted to call it like 3D Elon Star.
I mean, it could be.
But thank you, saying, "Hey, Try and Coury, long-time donator, first-time viewer." Oh,
wow!
Thank you. I wanted to ask, are you folks going to do a video like the Wii Shop channel tribute, but for the 3DS/Wii U? Love to know what you recommend.
When's that going down? Is that like next month?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't. It's not really been on top of mind. I mean, the truth is, like, we were pretty active, like buying virtual console games and buying WiiWare games, like during that generation, and we were less so during the 3DS and Wii U generations in terms of buying like digital games. So honestly, like I don't have like a lot of recommendations.
I mean, I'm sure we could find stuff if we wanted to. I mean, I have some.
I mean, you found Chubbins, which is delisted, I guess.
Oh,
so
it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say no, but I do think we feel ill prepared at the moment. Some people are saying March 25th, possibly. Yeah, I mean, the shame of it would be that would be like pretty down to the wire and relevant for a sadly short period of time.
But I mean, there could be a little asterisk. I mean, really, if I'm gonna make one recommendation, is that anybody who is looking for something to download or something to download, you should absolutely be downloading the is it like the Pokemon Picross? Because that's what you need to be able to hack your 3DS. So like make that a priority. Even if you don't hack your 3DS like right now, just get it. It's free.
Oh, I should probably do that. I've never hacked a 3DS.
I mean, it isn't that hard, but you need the Pokemon Picross.
You gotta have it.
Yeah, that is the thing that you hack and make it so that you can
was it Pokemon 3D Picross?
Yeah, it's just like I think it's just called Pokemon Picross, or it's like or not. Maybe it's Pikachu Picross, but I think it's Pokemon Picross.
There's nothing specific you need to have for Wii U to hack it.
No. It used to be you needed to have like Brain Age or like a DS game. And people recommended Brain Age because it was the cheapest one.
Yeah.
But it's not required anymore. I didn't realize that there's like a whole new hacking thing available, like math or a whole new thing for the like a new not tiramisu. It's like something else now. John told me about it, and I need to do like an upgrade from like tiramisu to like whatever.
Aroma, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I think that's what he said it was called. I have to. Hopefully, it's not a problem to upgrade from tiramisu to that.
But yeah, I mean, I guess like, you know, in the future, like that could, you know, just be like, oh hey, here's some games to play on Wii U. Yeah. You know, the thing that scares me about Wii U, like I've got this horrible feeling that it just isn't, the hardware is not going to last.
Yeah. I
like there's it gives me bad vibes.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know exactly what it is. I mean, I have, you know, for one, heard that, you know, that there are a lot of NAND failures.
Yeah. That's why I got
on the larger capacity black units, unfortunately, which is the only one I have. I've only got one Wii U, one gamepad, one Pro controller.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like my Wii U situation could go grim very easily.
Well,
I mean,
luckily,
as
like,
it
most of that
is,
stuff
like
is available to play other ways. At least. Most of the stuff.
most of it, but still, like I would still like access to the Wii U.
Yeah.
You know, it's unfortunate. I mean, even like just like when the system was just a few years old, I started having this problem that never really resolved where when I turned on the gamepad, the system would start booting, but then it would be like so it sent a signal to the system to start booting, but then it didn't like the system would then say like, oh, couldn't connect to gamepad. I'm like, well, but of course you can, because you woke the system up from the gamepad.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Like, but like all the time. Like
I know. Like
but like it didn't
yes.
used to happen, and then it started happening like a few years in. And then like I remember when I took my Wii U to my parents' house a few times. It seemed to happen less often there. And maybe it could have just been a placebo. I don't know. But it seemed to happen less often there. And so like I wondered if it was like some sort of like HDMI handshake thing that was like confusing it for some inexplicable reason.
Yeah, who knows?
Like something about going through the switcher. I don't know.
It's kind of amazing like how haphazard the entire Wii U like actually just feels. Like just even the
it does. I mean, at the time I enjoyed the heck out of it. But
right. But I mean, even like how long it takes to load like the dashboard is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Like how did that even happen?
Yeah. In retrospect, you know, it is a little bit of a strange Nintendo console.
Yeah. it's the strangest.
It is the strangest Nintendo console. It is. Like it's in a lot of ways it's like it's more normal than the Wii, but like I mean it's because you know for the most part it's just HD games with standard really standard controller. You know, the actual Wii U aspect isn't really used in like a mission critical way most of the time, right? Even stranger than Virtual Boy?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I mean the Virtual Boy I think is pretty on brand.
Like they're just kind of trying.
It like the actual hardware and like I know that I forget who it was. I think it's the guy that does Metroid music, maybe at Nintendo. Like he was the one who actually designed the sound hardware for the Virtual Boy. And, like I heard that he like still considers it like the best, like the ideal sound hardware.
Oh really?
Yeah, like he was way into the hardware design for the Virtual Boy sound chip.
Maybe it's the first time he had
the Virtual Boy, like the way that the system behaves, like feels like an extension of the Game Boy hardware. I mean, it was definitely a flawed design in the sense that it was like, who is actually going to, travel with this or use it comfortably in the home. I mean, I have a big soft spot for the Virtual Boy, for sure. And a soft spot for the Wii U. But they are both, I will say, among the stranger Nintendo systems. There was also $2 from good old Jonathan Henson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, okay, given the advancements in Mister and RetroArt shaders and RetroTink scaling, I'm seriously considering donating away my 4 remaining CRTs and going all flat panel displays. Have I lost my mind?
I'd keep one. I don't know. I mean, like the Mister shaders. So I had to like ask. I was asking Frank Cifaldi like his address so that we could send him a Blu-ray. And
Yeah.
like he's like, oh, here's my address. And also like he said, have you tried the HDR CRT shade with CRT shaders on the Mister? Because it's like it's changed. It's changed the like how I enjoy games, like NES games. It's like makes such a huge difference. Says I never really even cared that much about. I'm gonna die here.
HDR.
No, just about like how composite looked like on the NES. And then this is like actually made it so that I totally enjoy it. Like just how.
Wait, composite?
Like if I mean just like how it looks on a CRT. Like apparently he's like maybe he's using some sort of like I don't know, maybe it's not playing on a regular TV. Or I mean not a regular TV. I mean using a like a softening filter or something like that to give it more of a like a scanline filter, like to make it softer, to make it like maybe there's a preset for it. But he says, he's never really cared for the look until like he started using this.
I mean, here's the thing I think, and why I still think you should keep at least 1 or 2 CRTs. I think black frame insertion makes a massive difference in how appealing scanline and CRT filters are. Because I always felt like when the image was in motion, like the scan lines almost kind of blur and you just can't make them out very clearly. It just kind of smudges. And when you got black frame insertion, all of a sudden virtual scan lines start making a lot more sense, I think. So, not every screen you use is going to have black frame insertion. And even then, like, I know John is like real nervous that like the feature is like going to die out or further regress in quality from prior implementations, because most people don't seem to get it or care. And I don't even know what all manufacturers even offer black frame insertion. But for me, I think that makes a huge difference in how appealing artificial scan lines are.
You should try that combined with HDR.
Yeah. I don't think I actually have yet. But yeah, I'm sure that would make even bigger difference. Last time I like RetroTink scan CRT effects better than what I've seen on Mister so far. But I don't see any reason that they wouldn't be capable of the same quality. It's just the implementation. I really like giving a good bit of a blur when I'm using those sort of CRT effects. Because that's like what makes it feel like I like going like a little blurrier than a PVM when I'm doing it. I don't know why. I just like going kind of like tending a little more toward the consumer CRT look. Like on the RetroTink, I really like to use the pre-emphasis -2. Like that just gives.
So I guess that makes sense. I mean, that's probably similar to like what Frank was talking about.
Yeah. I really like to give it that. It just kind of gives it that. It just makes it look a little bit more like a consumer CRT, and I think it looks cool. But Jonathan Henson says, "You have convinced me. Try. I will keep my 20-inch Sony consumer CRT." Yes, definitely do that.
Yeah, you just need to keep one.
Yeah, you'll regret not having one. Oh, I don't know. I mean, sometimes backup. You never know. You never know when you might need a backup. But there was also y'all are high rollers tonight. What's gotten into you? Tony Escobar with a 1999. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying watching the Super Bowl with my son, but wanted you to know I hadn't forgotten you fellas. well, thank you, and I hope your medical PVM is still treating you nicely. There was also $5 super chat from Nana Cheesecake. Thank you. Saying happy Sunday. I'm assuming Coury is playing. That's correct. There's no playing tag on either person. Also, I thought Tries Like was a blanket game cozy for the stream.
I forgot to put that on. Sorry about that.
Put what on?
That I'm
playing.
The playing. And you're on Discord. Whoops.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got another. The Starboard palette. Ooh, look at this one. This one's like a Game Boy Light. I'm gonna switch to that one.
I'm looking forward to seeing. Yeah, that's sort of like a Game Boy Light. I actually, even though I've like barely used the Game Boy Light in my life, just that one I borrowed from Bob. Like, I really like the look of I really like the Game Boy Light color palette on the Analog Pocket.
Yeah.
Like, something about it's just really appealing. But speaking of Nana Cheesecake and they did announce on the Nintendo Direct the We Love Katamari remake, which like I'm like definitely gonna buy, but not my favorite.
Are you gonna get the Switch version? I saw that's a PS5 version. I'm basically onto that point.
Probably get the PS5 version.
Yeah. Just because you know that's it'll run better. I'm just at that point now.
I never got. I would like to. There is a physical of the first game on PS4, isn't there?
Yeah.
I never got that. However, I think maybe why I didn't get it was because I want to say I heard that it's only 30 frames per second. Like it's probably not really any better on PS4. It sounds like. So I think that's why I didn't bother. But like it's a PlayStation series, you know?
Yeah.
To me, primarily. You know, I did get I should stream this sometime. I did get
something.
Where is it? Oh, it's over here. It's over here on my big pile of games that I still need to clean.
Oh.
Not that I don't think this really needs to be cleaned though. But I did get Touch My Katamari for the Vita not long ago. Which is still a hilarious name.
Yeah. What was the last Vita game that you bought before that?
That's a great question. It'd been a good while.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not like a super active Vita collector. I mean, my Vita collection's pretty small. I'll bring it up on my backloggery because the Vita games are kind of in the dark there, a little hard to read. Let's see. The Vita's another system that I feel like I'm not sure how long that hardware is going to last.
Well, you hacked your PS TV, right?
I did, yeah. Which I want to do more with it. I haven't like I also want to I've got an extra I got a extra Vita that has a capture mod in it.
Oh right.
I want to soft hack that as well. But let's see. Where's my Vita games? Here we go. Most recent Vita game I bought. Let's see. Maybe Severed?
Oh, wow. So that's definitely a while.
It had. I mean, let me. I mean, that might be the first like used Vita game I even got. Now, let me see. So I've got Curse Castilla. I've got Danganronpa, Danganronpa 2. Was Danganronpa used? No, I think it was new, but I think it was GameStop. Danganronpa V3, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Oh wait, no, Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls. Dear God. The Dear God.
Yeah.
Like the DEER. Freedom Wars, Gravity Rush, Hot Shots Golf, La Milana EX, Miramasa Rebirth, Mutant Blobs Attack, Night Trap, Ocean Horn, Oddworld Munch's Odyssey, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 4 Dancing at Night, Rabby Ribby, Sayonara Umihara Kawase Plus, Severed, Touch My Katamari, Uncharted Golden Abyss, Volume, Ease Origin, and Ease Memories of Cell Setup. Yeah, I think Touch My Katamari is the only used Vita game I've ever bought. So, like, the last time I bought a Vita game was when a Vita game was available new. So, yeah. So it was very likely could have been Severed or Curse Castilla EX. I can't remember which came first for the Vita version, the physical Vita's versions of. This also makes me realize I may not own a digital Vita game.
Period? Like none?
I mean, I'm looking at my list. I own physicals of every single game listed. I mean, I've got a pretty good number of digital PSP games. I think I might not own a single digital Vita game. Outside maybe something that was available for free and I didn't put it on my backloggery. I don't know. I don't know.
There's not very many like power-ups. It's kind of nice, but also like, oh, kind of wish that.
You kind of wish there was something for beating the boss.
Yeah, but it's also kind of nice.
But it also keeps the gameplay really simple.
Yeah.
There was a $5 super chat from Britt McLean. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, I'd like to have Wii, PS2, and original Xbox connected to my RetroTink 5X. They're a good Switch that supports 3 component ends. Thanks, keep up the good work. I mean, if you're only looking to connect 3, I don't think you necessarily need to go super crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't know what the current availability of like G-comps are.
Yeah, I mean that's probably overkill for 3.
That's overkill for that. Honestly,
you just get a mechanical switcher.
If you use good quality cables, an unpowered mechanical switcher. I mean, I don't know if I can recommend like a particular one. But just like the like the Pelican brand switcher that you might find at like, you know, a thrift store or something, like those are those are actually good if you have good cables. Like
Oh, I got the
I
double
would
jump.
cons-
It looks like a almost looks like a screw attack type thing.
Ooh, yeah, it does. I wonder if that can hurt enemies. I like how I like kind of the vertical line dither through it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But like I would consider getting the HD Retrovision male to male component cables because like you're not going to be losing anything through those, or at least nothing like tangible. Because we've definitely used component cables that like we're like, oh,
the
like
Xbox
this,
were the ones.
huh?
Xbox component cables were the ones that we really noticed that.
Well, yeah, they can be really bad, but I'm just talking about like for connecting from the output of the switcher to the input of the RetroTink.
Yeah.
Just the male to male, because HD Retrovision sells male to male. You can get them on Amazon. I'm sure they're available now, I would assume. I think they're pretty regularly available, but you can get male to male or you can get a male to female extension cable. And they're just like insanely high quality. And we were using cables like that look good, but then I noticed like I was having issues, like especially with 480p quality. Like it was that there were problems. I'm like, what's going on here? I tried the HD Retrovision cables, and it like the output cable, just the male to male for connecting between switchers, and it made a huge difference. So, and they also make if you don't already like the official Wii and PS2 cables are very good, but if you don't have those, it would be worth looking into the HD Retrovision versions of those. They're cheaper than like the Super Nintendo or Genesis cables they sell because there's no special hardware in it. They're just high quality cables, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to perform like the RGB to component conversion. So I would be more concerned about that than the switcher. You could get away with a very cheap and simple mechanical switcher as long as you're using good cables. That's what I would recommend for that purpose. There was also $5 super chat from the gaming nostalgist. Thank you. Saying, did you know that the Vita dev kits include an HDMI out port attached to the unit? I imported one recently, but haven't modded it yet. So, what does modding it do? Do you have to, do you have to do that to install games on it or something? I wonder what the capabilities of that HDMI out port are. Because it's always been a big disappointment that the Vita TV can't do 1080p. That's its fatal flaw.
Just a little tough little bit right here.
So does the screw attack thing let you?
Yeah, I can bounce off enemies. Yeah, it doesn't hurt them. It just lets me bounce off them, which ain't that bad.
But yeah, I did not know that. That's definitely interesting. I have no idea what a Vita dev kit even looks like. Are they expensive?
Are you aware that Vita means life?
I think I heard that once before.
I thought I was the only person that knew that. I've been telling people that.
Is Vita Spanish for the
Vita? IML Vita. It's Spanish for the Vita.
It's Spanish for PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
There was also $2 super chat from Eric Schussler.
Oh,
thank you. Saying, what should I get to first? Final Fantasy X-2 or Final Fantasy 13-2?
Final Fantasy 13-2. Like, don't even bother with Final Fantasy X-2, honestly.
I mean, I don't think I was aware that you had such strong anti-X-2 feelings.
No, I mean,
despite the fact that you just bought the Japanese Switch version just because it has
both on there.
X-2 on cart.
If I'm gonna buy one, might as well get the other. But I mean, if you feel like, I think that 13-2 is a much better game.
I mean, I feel I like them both pretty equally. I mean, I don't care at all about really what either of them adds to
the
story
for sure
of their respective games, but I think X-2 is a really fun game. Like it's like in terms of like mainline or semi-mainline Final Fantasy games, is probably the like most modern version of the ATB menu based combat.
Let me try the purple.
I think the combat is really fun in that game, and I appreciate how stupid the aesthetic and tone of the game is.
Yeah, I think the main thing I have against, not that it's like it's fun and
you don't like what it does
like
to the ending of 10.
Yeah. But then in the same side, like I kind of hate about 13-2. Yeah, where like literally the next second after the ending, like after the game goes to black in 13 is like everything goes wrong. Like I hate that it's like right after everything like they succeed, it just like totally sucks the air out of like the ending. And I really like the ending to 13.
I'm relatively indifferent to all aspects of the story in 13. But I'm kind of with you where the ending is the best part of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I am also relatively indifferent to the story of 10, but there are I like the story of 10 more than I like the story of 13, but the ending is definitely like kind of what makes it, I think. But like again, like I don't like it. I'm just saying in terms of the game itself, I think both are really good. Like they're both really enjoyable games. Like 13-2 might be arguably the better game, maybe, but I think they're, in my mind, they're pretty close. Like if you really want to see like what more traditional ATB. I mean, yes, there's ATB in Final Fantasy 13, but it's still pretty different from like the Super Nintendo and PS1 era. Like if you want to see what Super Nintendo and PS1 Final Fantasy combat looks like with PS2 quality graphics, then you should play 10-2. Like it's got a job system.
Oh, okay.
It's not as good as like Final Fantasy V job system or anything, but
I do intend to replay 10-2, which is one of the reasons I wanted that physical version. Because
I really appreciate, like, I mean, yes, I know it does some dumb things to the story, and yes, I know Yuna is like not at all what you knew her as.
I mean, but that doesn't bother me really.
But the thing is, I do appreciate how like just like self-aware it is of its total stupidity. Like it's just it takes a really stupid and fun tone. The music's really good. I mean, you know, the songs that are famous or infamous. I mean, they're stupid, but if you like, they're fun if you like acknowledge them as stupid. And like the rest of the soundtrack just got a really fun vibe to it.
Ooh, I got the goop. Ooh, look at this one. This one's more like the Game Boy Light. Maybe.
I see Pyramid Head Crab saying, Corey, Final Fantasy X-2 or Final Fantasy IV the After Years? Final Fantasy IV the After Years, I would not recommend under in any.
Okay, so I mean, I haven't played that one either.
No.
That's all you got to say about it. Like, should I play
do not
that?
recommend it. It's bad. Oh, look at Goop. I kind of like Goop.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I love how I love just like the random faces the cat makes. Like, does he make the angry face when there's enemies nearby?
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, well, I think it's when you shoot, he like makes it. It's like an angry but like happy. Angry.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, is it when you jump that he just makes like the happy face?
When I do the double jump, is like
when you do the double jump, he makes the happy face.
Yeah. Like it's funny because I feel like that's just like, what do we do with this portion of the screen? I have no idea what we can put up here, and this is what they decided to put up there.
They're great expressions.
Yeah.
He just looks so happy and so happy to be angry. So happy to be shooting enemies. He's got some real like American Kirby energy there, you know?
Yeah. All right, am I supposed to be?
But yeah, Final Fantasy IV.
I gotta run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I drank too much water
before. The second half of that game basically is the final dungeon, and it's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, it's not like particularly good before then either, but it's the last dungeon is so bad. So bad. I've never played the PSP version of After Years. I played it on WiiWare. So yeah. Oh, I see. Sorry, I need to catch up on a few here, actually. There was the 199 from Madonna Sheehy saying, I love this game. What does Sandy think? Sandy, I think, has been hanging out downstairs. She's been keeping a low profile this stream. And there was also a $10 again from the Gaming Nostalgist. Thank you. Saying Modding it. This is in reference to the Vita Dev Kit. Modding it restores functionality of retail games as well as homebrew, and the HDMI out works just as you would hope. The ability to capture rear touchscreen using games like Uncharted, Tearaway, etc. Interesting. Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty awesome. I would not mind buying such a thing if it did not cost like a ton of money.
What?
the Game of Nostalgist had more info on the Vita Dev Kit, saying that it restores functionality of retail games as well as homebrew, and HDMI out works just as you would hope. The ability to capture rear touch screen using games like Uncharted and Tearaway. So yeah, you have to mod it to get retail games on it. But still, it's pretty cool.
I don't know where I'm going. I forgot where I'm supposed to be going next. If I need to go back up. I am liking the game.
Where's the Blood was asking what my thoughts on Pikmin 4 Ghost Trick and Baten Kaitos and Game Boy Online. I still have actually not tried the Game Boy online stuff yet. I guess I could like go grab my Switch and give you like impressions in real time.
So someone was saying that they're like, oh, you guys should do a video on it, and that was like a fun video to do. Like that's something I think I could get into if we wanted to.
It's just that we don't have the expansion pass, so it's like it would be a little incomplete.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pikmin 4. I mean, looks good. I went ahead and pre-ordered it. Why not? Ghost Trick is. I sure hope there's going to be a physical copy of that sold somewhere in the world because oh my gosh, people need to play Ghost Trick. It's like possibly my favorite video game story. If you like really cute dogs in video games, you need to play Ghost Trick. Great story. Yes, everyone needs to play that. Bottom Caters, I heard that there was a little possibly controversy over, I guess they're only going to have the Japanese voices, which for the original Bottom Caters, that's probably for the best because the voices are not only so bad, but also like really bad quality. Although I heard that if you like set it to like surround sound or something, that it might actually sound a lot better. I don't know what the deal is, but the voices are really bad. One of the few times I've just like outright disabled voices. Except unfortunately doing that does not disable them for combat. But yeah, I think that's good. I kind of regret having sold Baten Kato's Origins years ago. I got a few hours into the game and I was just not enjoying it at all. I did not like how they tweaked the battle system because I really liked the battle system in the first game. And this gives me a chance to give it another chance. So I appreciate that. Is Ghost Trick better with touch controls? I know nothing about the game. I mean, it was designed for the DS and works really well on the DS, but
I mean, I can't imagine it's like that much different, right?
No, I'm sure you can just move the analog stick around. I'm sure it'll play just fine, and I'm pretty sure you can totally control with button controls on the DS anyway. I think.
And they said that it's going to be digital only, but I wonder if that means if it's possible that it could get a physical in Japan. Like I guess that Etrian Odyssey is digital only, except for
yeah, people were talking about that, which is a shame because I if there's a physical of that, I mean, it's like $80 or something to get the whole thing on Steam anyway. So like, I could see there being a price issue with
Etrian.
I mean, not that it stopped Square for charging a lot for Pixel Remaster,
which is still like sold out and it's not being
it's pretty stupid. But yeah, the lost my train of thought. Yeah, the Etrian Odyssey. It I played through like the first strata of the first game.
Did you buy it?
Feel like
or do you own it?
Huh?
Do you own it?
I used to.
Oh, okay.
I feel I would appreciate it more now. But if there's a physical somewhere in the world, I'll definitely get it and give it another try because I think I'd like it more today than I did at the time. But yeah, I wonder what a physical would even cost because it's pretty pricey. Oh, your Maché is saying that Etrian Odyssey Trilogy gets an Asia physical.
Yeah.
Or at least there's apparently a listing. Maybe it's a placeholder, but I guess there's a listing on PlayAsia. So that could be promising. You know, I think the Fatal Frame 4 is coming out relatively soon. I should be looking for where a physical of that can be gotten as well. I'm really excited for that. Anyway, sorry, I held back on reading this. I was waiting for Coury to get back, and then we got sidetracked with other talk. But there was 12 minutes ago. Sorry about that. Another $5 super chat from Mr. Nada again.
Oh, thank you.
Saying, hopefully this isn't information you could have used 12 minutes ago, because it says, "Hey Coury, if you press down and jump when you get out of the suit, you will jump down without having to get back up to the robot, or without having to back up the robot."
Yeah. I saw it, and they probably saw me.
So you've been putting this to practice.
I figured it out. I mean, it took me a minute to figure out what they meant.
But I get what they're saying here now.
I don't feel like I want to go that way. Maybe I need to go that way.
There was $10 super chat for I never know how to say this one, if it's Joshan or Josian. Thank you. Saying couldn't watch past streams due to work. Now that I'm free from Satan's Counterattack Work Edition, I can finally enjoy your streams again.
Hey.
Thank you for doing this every Sunday. Love the game, by the way.
Is that in a good way, right? Like you're free from the job in a good
way? I'm getting the impression that being free from Satan's Counterattack Work Edition is mostly a positive. I don't know if there are complications that could be could arise from no longer being part of the Satan's Counterattack Work Edition. It sounds like, from the wording, I would imagine this is overall a good thing. It's a positive, trust me. Well, glad you're here to hang out. There was also a $5 super chat from Seabass Nap.
Oh,
thank you. Saying, "Try, guess who was in your neck of the woods yesterday for a Canes match?" Is that short for Hurricanes?
Yeah.
Is that what we call the sports teams here? It says the rest of. I get the impression this is a hockey team, based on the rest of the message, saying Beasley's chicken and honey was amazing. The hockey was not. I guess
the Beasley's
hockey did not have the outcome desired. I hate to admit, I don't think I'm familiar with Beasley's chicken and honey, but I bet it is amazing. You know, I almost tried some chicken and hot honey waffles a few weeks ago. I grabbed some breakfast when I had to drop Sandy off at the vet when she got her cysts removed.
Beasley's
chicken and honey. I can't say I am familiar with that. I bet it is amazing.
I'm guessing that there's like 3 areas and then the end, but maybe not. I mean, it's
why 3?
Because there's like 3 things that I need to 3 like lock things.
Oh, okay. So you do 3 areas and then you go to Torium.
Yeah, I'm guessing that that's the case. I mean, it's an hour and 10 minutes in. I don't know how far I actually am in it.
You know, I was thinking it
Ooh, look at this thing. This thing almost looks like a Mega Man boss.
Ooh. Wait to see. Oh yeah, this is like a Wily Castle boss.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, after we finish our replay of Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, the next game that Drum and I are going to stream is going to be finally Mega Man 11.
Oh wow! So you guys are both. Has he played it?
Nope. So we're both just separately going to play through it. He'll play it on Steam and I'll play it.
That's gonna be your first
version on PS5.
Is that gonna be your first beat from your list?
It is, unless I like squeeze something else in.
I'm like,
you're like so far into yours.
I'm on the last chapter of Yakuza 3, and I'm like halfway through Treasure Track. So I've like almost like Captain Toad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you are like tearing through your list like it's nothing.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I feel like I've kind of been the mode that you were in like early last year, where you were like not playing a lot of games like off stream. Like that's kind of been my situation. Like I was like really going hard on Returnal, and then like when I lost my momentum in Biome 5, I've not like gone hard back into it like I should.
Yeah, you need to get back to it.
I need to get back to it. I was like kind of musing like, I wonder if I could beat it before the physical Metroid Prime comes out. Because I'd kind of like to play that. But I Returnal kind of like, does Returnal like kind of give you Metroid Prime vibes? Like something about the environments, like
for
really
sure, yeah.
Just like the way they look and are constructed, like feels like places that would exist in, one of the Metroid Prime games.
I mean, Cloud FF7 is saying I'm going to be finished with my games by July.
Oh,
but that's not going to be what happens for sure. But I mean, I'm just thinking about it because I know that. I'm going to get to a point where it's just like long games. Yeah. I know arguably like The Witcher is probably the longest one on there.
Yeah, and I like have no clue like that one's a wild card. Like I don't know how you'll like that one. I don't know how I would like that one. I've never played it. Well, like that's just a wild card for you because you have so little like Western RPG experience.
Right.
I mean, I don't necessarily have like a whole heck of a ton either. I've played, your Bethesdas and your BioWares and whatnot. I mean, I've got a BioWare game on my list. Got Jade Empire on my list, which I don't think is actually that long. I have not seen Modern Vintage Gamers Prime Remastered.
It came out yesterday, I think.
Ludicrous Fool was asking if we had seen it.
Well, I saw his tweets about it. That that's really impressive. So since they removed the ability to use like third-party applications on Twitter, like I only use it on my computer now. Like I removed it from my phone, so I only see certain things that way. But now I've heard that they're gonna like lock TweetDeck behind Twitter Blue, and like as soon as that happens, like I'm basically my Twitter use is gonna be like almost zero at that point. Unfortunately, like that's just the way it is.
Or is it fortunate?
Well, I mean, it's not like I used it that much before, like beyond like promoting things.
You were not unhealthily obsessed with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I find that like Instagrams are like a lot more fun. just because you can put a picture up, like a little video, and then just like have that be it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying Prime Remaster. It has been a long time since I've played through it. I mean, I would guess I've played through it probably like 3 times, probably. It's been a long time. I mean, I never played through the Wii version. So the last time I played through it was probably before Prime 3 even.
Really? I've only played through 2 and 3 one time, and that was on the Prime trilogy. And I mean, I love the first one. I think the first one is like basically a flawless game.
It's pretty much a flawless game.
And you know, like it's funny because I was telling you the other day, because I mean, everyone like remembers like the reaction to Wind Waker, like the art style, like, oh, like this is garbage, this is not what we want. But nobody ever talks about how people were just like so angry. Like, you're making like your first Metroid game in 10 years is going to be a first-person shooter. Like, nobody wants that. Like, I feel like the reaction to that was just as bad.
Well, I think I think people probably don't remember that as well. But like, you know, the thing is, I think they were just so afraid it was going to like affect how the game was designed, and I think it's one of the most faithful transitions of a 2D game concept into 3D
100%.
ever.
Yeah.
Despite what what people, you know, were jumping to conclusions, it is so Metroid. Like, it's crazy how good it is, and how perfectly the concepts translated in 3D. But you know, something I often think about, and it's like kind of a hard thing to like really like justify or understand or explain like why this is the case, but I thought about it a lot during the GameCube days, where I'm like, you know, Metroid Prime is for all intents and purposes a perfect game. Like, it's just there's like basically nothing to criticize about it. It's just so perfect. And then you've got Wind Waker, which is like clearly unfinished and has its fair share of flaws. And yet when you look at the GameCube library, I would say that Wind Waker, like, I would, if I were ranking the best GameCube or my favorite GameCube games, I would rank Wind Waker over Metroid Prime. And like, there's no real reason why. I believe I played through it more times. The overall game stands out more clearly in my mind. Dingus Glare. I mean, Wind Waker. I mean, you can. I think it's fine to call it a masterpiece, but like, it's clear that there were supposed to be more dungeons than there were, and you know, this and that. But like I would probably consider it my favorite GameCube game, even though I think Metroid Prime, like on a, like, if you were just to like take a more objective measure of like, you know, what is, you know, a well-made game, I think Metroid Prime seems like a more polished, watertightly constructed game. There's more criticisms you could level at Wind Waker, and yet I would still say it is my, not that they're even comparable games really, but like, just if I was to rate games on the system, I would rate Wind Waker above, even though it's worse.
Well, obviously, like, I don't agree with that. Like, Wind Waker is okay. But,
Like,
I mean, like, it
I
feels
don't know
like...
why I feel that way. But I really like Wind Waker. I mean, you don't like any Zelda that much other than Link to the Past anyway.
And Breath of the Wild I like a lot.
Well, yeah.
But yes, you know, I feel that Link to the Past is like basically a nearly like flawless game.
It is.
To me.
Yeah, yeah. Did you hear about that Link to the Past, like, I guess has like a decompilation pretty much good to go?
I saw like a widescreen version of it. Like I think someone posted it in our Discord. And I mean that's certainly something that I'm interested in. It would be really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of surprising now that I think it. Like I hadn't really thought about like decompilations for sprite-based games. And now that I guess that's happened, it's kind of surprising to me that that seemed to be more prevalent for 3D games first. It's like, oh, why not 2D games? But I'd never really considered it. Like, but now it's like, oh yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. Why couldn't you do? I mean, I guess there was like the Sonic widescreen, like the Christian Whitehead Sonic versions got decompilations. Yeah, I never really thought about. I mean, it's interesting because Super Nintendo homebrew tends to not really be much of a thing. So it's pretty cool to see a decompilation for Super Nintendo happen.
Oof. Is there an easier way to do this?
Oh yeah, the Satellaview Zelda. That would have been a nice thing to have on Super Nintendo.
I guess it has more to do with the phasing here. Ugh. I'll try the phasing then. I wish you didn't have to sit through the cutscene dialogue every time.
Oh yeah, Link Between Worlds is amazing. I wish it wasn't locked to 3DS. They should really port that. That would be amazing. There's a lot of good games on 3DS, but like I just don't play my 3DS that much these days.
Yeah.
Something I thought about doing for my pick 10 list for 2023 is picking some games for systems that like I don't play as much as I need to if I want to get like through those games, you know? Oh, the floor's clearing. So what's the deal with this mouse? Why does he want you dead?
I think it's just mouses in general. Because the cat.
Oh, it's not the same mouse?
It might be. But it's just, you know, it's a cat.
I mean, yeah, I mean the 3DS had to go by the wayside eventually, but you know,
too close to that.
The thing is, like once a portable system is like no longer the current thing, I prefer to play those games like on my TV, and doing that with 3DS is not all that feasible and a bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, I've got, you know, my video out thing, but it's like more of a USB capture thing, and there's like, you know, it's definitely some lag and definitely some frame pacing issues. Yeah, I should crack out my 3DS a little more often.
I almost put Dragon Quest 7 on my list, but I was like, oh, that might be like a little bit too much.
Yeah, well, considering we're like halfway through February and we're close to it, and I haven't done any of my games yet, I'm getting pretty worried about the number of RPGs on there. Some of them aren't super long RPGs though, like Lunar and Lunar 1 and 2 and Jade Empire, super long. Trails of Cold Steel will be the main concern. And by the way, there were at least a few people. I don't know if I ever said this on the stream, but there were at least a few people who were like, "Oh, you should get the PS4 version," which, you know, I already had the PS3 version of 1 and 2, and like I knew that the PS4 version was both hard to come by for both of those and expensive. But then I found out that they're the PAL versions, you can get them for like $20 new. I got them on Amazon UK for $20 each, the PS4 versions. And
no, they're not in stupid cases.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're like they're 4 steel books for the North American releases,
yeah,
right?
They're only steelbooks. Yeah. Or did you say
you know,
forced steelbooks? Yeah.
We're 4 steelbooks. We're not big steelbook fans, but see, these are the PAL or PEGI versions, and they're just they're in regular cases. They were $20 each, brand new on Amazon UK. So that was a good deal. You know, the Trails of Cold Steel 2 logo kind of annoys me. Like, does it annoy anyone else? Like, I feel like the 2 on it, like, just doesn't feel like it's supposed to be read as a 2. It's hard to tell that this is not Trails of Cold Steel 1, just with that logo. Like, I don't like the way it. Like, I don't know, it just does not look like it's supposed to be a Roman numeral. Like, it's confusing. I mean, it does say Cold Steel 2 pretty clearly on the spine, but still, I don't like that logo. Sorry.
I'm not risking it this time.
Oh, yeah, worth playing it safe. Is that at the bottom, your overall game time?
Yeah.
I wonder if it counts, you know, like when you died or not.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually about how long you've been playing, so that adds up, I think.
Just want to make sure there's no Peter tube I gotta fight.
Okay. No, Amazon UK doesn't have free shipping. And which confused me at first. Because Amazon Japan does use a different account. This looks like you're cheating your way out of the boss rush, blowing up the
The teleport. Yeah. What's this? A coolant module.
So why is this scientist sending the cat into?
Because he's like hurt his legs.
Oh, he hurt his legs, so now the cat is in danger. Sandy's downstairs, I think. Sandy, why don't you come say hi to the stream? Yeah, hey. Here, come look at what Coury's playing. Coury's playing a game with a cat. Look at this.
Sandy's like, oh.
Look at that.
She's like, oh. That's the
game with the cat.
like, oh, sweet. Cool.
You want to see? Come see. Yeah. Come.
Is this what you're like all the time? Like with her, like if you're playing a game, like look what I'm playing.
Well, if
I'm playing
she's being like needy or something.
Yeah.
Like if she's being like, oh, let's. Can't we do something fun and interesting?
And you're like, no.
Then
no, we can't.
Then I might be like, oh, Sandy, look at that on the TV. It usually doesn't work, but I try. Also, my camera is not focusing now. Oh, maybe I think my mouse was screwed.
I call Nelly. I've been calling her. She's my baby bean. And I know this will ring hollow to you, but there might be people in the chat that know. Like where I like to sing loudly to the tune of Warrant's Cherry Pie. I say she's my baby bean.
Sing loudly.
Yeah. When there's no one else.
Why don't you do it for us here right now?
No, absolutely not.
It's just a private thing between you and Nelly and everyone else who overhears it in your house.
That is exactly the case. Am I going down here? Yeah. That is not on the Blu-ray. Although I think I saw a tweet when I was looking at Twitter earlier. It said I found an Easter egg on the Blu-ray after looking for a minute, and I feel like I don't remember where it is, and I don't remember how to access it, but I'm pretty sure that I have put that little clip of you trying to get something out of the gachapon machine on camera. And you're like, you're ready for this action, and then you drop the yen and it goes like underneath the thing. Like you don't get it in there. You're like, you're ready for this action, you know, and you like get it like, you know, ready to like shoot video of it, and then you like, and it like goes underneath the machine. You don't even get the, you don't even get it.
I'm curious if anyone in the chat is international and if they have gotten their Blu-ray yet.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying they're getting it. I mean, just in general, it's been
but I'm not sure if any of them have been international.
And if anybody like hasn't seen anything about it, on the website it says that there is more on the way, and that is absolutely true. We actually just got
ordered them today.
Yeah, just ordered them today. So we're getting 200 more made. We'll see how that goes. Ooh, there's a Virtual Boy one.
Oh man, I can't wait to see it.
Called Virtual Cat.
Oh, look at that. That's a must. I love it.
But yeah, we're getting 200 more made. The difference is going to be that it's just going to has different disc art.
Yeah, and it's not anything like fancy. It's just it's
probably our biggest disappointment with like the Blu-rays is like we wish the shrink wrap was better because the shrink wrap was really good on the Night Trap ones, and I think that maybe this just has to do with the process of like us sending them in and they package them. So
well, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, we might get this.
We were speculating.
Yeah, we're just speculating, and we just wish that the shrink wrapping was like nicer on these ones.
Yeah.
But I'll be curious.
For anyone
to
who
see.
wanted to keep it sealed.
Right. So I'll be curious to see if there's like when they're doing the whole
process, including
like
creating the discs.
If it's like better quality.
Frank Boris, Sandy's never really been around cats. I mean, I think there was a cat in the house she was born in. But,
so I can shoot.
I mean, she doesn't have much interactions with dogs either. She's a little suspicious of dogs. Oh, do you get a little extra height from shooting your gun down?
Yeah, I thought that might be the case, but now I feel like I've confirmed it. Like that's just like that makes me think of Cave Story.
Oh yeah, can't you like almost hover with your gun in that?
Yeah, if it's like powered up enough, yeah.
You know, I should stream that sometime. Cause like I played that on WiiWare like way back. That's like the only time I've ever really played it. I don't remember it that well.
Wow, this is like a really tight game. Like it's 35 to 35. The Super Bowl. It's 35 to 35 and there's 5 minutes left.
I thought you were saying that Gato Roboto is a really tight game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that may also be true.
That may also be true.
And Sandy's just being lazy. She's burying her head between my arm and my belly. Lazy puppy.
Where am I going? Let's try this. Kind of wish I liked the music better in this. There's not really much to it. It's more like ambient.
I see Clint in the chat. Are you the one that left that comment? I think it was on the Analog Pocket video. Someone was wondering. I assume it must have been yours because on the Analog Pocket video, I had my game boxes behind me. Someone was asking about how you got Metroid Fusion full screen on the TV behind you.
Right? Yeah.
Using? Was it the Analog Pocket dock?
I mean, it would have been, yeah.
But I mean, there's many ways you can get GBA games full screen on TV these days. I mean, I use the GBA consoleizer for GBA primarily these days. And that can be, pretty close to full screen. I mean, it's integer scale up to 720p, and then the 720p fills your TV screen. Mister, you can absolutely fill stuff. GBI, I don't use as often, but I'm pretty sure there are ways to get it close to full. But even if you're using a method that does not go all the way to full, if you've got a TV that has a all direction zoom feature, you can easily fill it any way you like for things like PSP or GBA that might not fill the whole screen. Because that definitely exists on like most of the LG OLEDs for sure, and probably other TVs too. I don't know if they ever added it into the C2 or not. It was mentioned in the C2 online manual, but it was not implemented into the TV when I had the C2.
Going back up. That was really funny. Like, you sent me that clip of that guy, like, going, like he got that, the way it synced up on the stream last week when the guy was getting shot.
Shooting Bond off the train.
Yeah. Really funny stuff. It's like,
it's just really funny imagining that being James Bond's "I've been shot" sound.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I said that maybe I should rewatch On Her Majesty's Secret Service since I played that section in 007 Legends, and I did. I watched it last night.
Oh.
It was pretty good. Like that had possibly been the Bond movie that had been the longest ago since I'd seen. I mean, it's amazing that like George Lazenby like had no acting experience.
Oh, really?
And they like chose him for the role. And like honestly, like he's not bad. Like he does way better than you would think for someone who wasn't really an actor. In my opinion, he doesn't really do anything wrong. Like
this crap.
I wouldn't say that he adds anything. He doesn't do anything like makes the role his own or anything, but he does a perfectly fine job. Did I say the wrong name? I feel like I may.
No, you did. You said the right.
Did I say George Lazenby?
Yeah. I knew they were gonna pull something like this, where it's like, oh, we got to have a whole level where the cat's out of its suit and can die in one hit.
What's weird though is, so apparently it's like super faithful to the book, but the book released before You Only Live Twice. So it's weird that they made the movie after You Only Live Twice, because Bond and Blofeld had never met. But since they tried to stay really close to the book, they didn't do anything like apparently they considered at one point having Bond undergo plastic surgery so that Blofeld wouldn't recognize him, and that was how they were going to explain the new actor.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, but they then decide to not do that and just, stick close to the book. Like, at least according to the Wikipedia article, like almost everything that happens in the book happens in the movie, which is pretty crazy. Like, you almost never hear of that happening.
This is the Zero Suit section.
Ah. I see that K-Lead Gamer said I've zoom viewed PSP component out on a 69 TV. And the other nice thing you can do with all directions zoom, I did this when I played Pocky and Rocky Reshrined. You can also like stretch vertical and horizontal separately. So since Pocky and Rocky Reshrined was attempting to use the Super Nintendo aspect ratio, but it does not have interpolation, you can set the game instead for square pixels and then use your TV to stretch it back out. And then you get the correct Super Nintendo aspect ratio with the TV providing the interpolation.
Okay, good. Clear the path. Ooh, a health upgrade. Not that it matters.
I mean, I think it's okay for film adaptations to change things from books where it makes sense, or I mean, I think directors are entitled to their own creative vision, but it is nice, I guess, when something stays relatively true to the source material, and it does not happen that often.
Jeez,
So
come on.
it's interesting. I want to say that Casino Royale is. I mean, I've never read a Bond book, but I want to say Casino Royale is considered pretty accurate to the book. But obviously, it's updated to take place decades later. But
Yeah.
I understand that in general, it's considered pretty accurate.
You should read one, just to see what it's like.
Yeah. Books are a whole lot of effort,
Yes, I do, and I'm not a big reader either. Like I don't very often.
But I mean, it might be interesting just to have a little more firsthand knowledge of what the Bond books are even like,
Yeah. Ugh.
Well, I don't know about the TV Casino Royale, but I mean, the Daniel Craig Casino Royale, I've heard is generally surprisingly close to the book for, something that takes place much later. Have we ever dabbled in the Atelier series? No, I thought about it at one point because I was.
I got Ryza 1.
Oh yeah,
just like a long time ago. It was, I guess it was like hard to get, and I'm like, oh well, if I ever wanted to think about
Which
it.
system do you have it for?
PS4.
I mean, I've been curious just because, like, the time management aspect might be interesting, but like, they're all. I assume they're also like very like gathering resource heavy and very like crafty heavy.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, it can work, but it's not usually what I gravitate toward.
Yeah, me either. Come on.
You never know. There can be some crafting that works, but it's usually like small scale, doesn't use that many items and stuff. That's what I prefer. It's like.
So but I just wanted to ask, like, how does my audio sound, like having the microphone right here? You can kind of see it on camera, but I don't feel like.
Who cares if you see a mic on the camera for a stream?
I understand. I'm just like curious to see if it sounds like pretty good. And yes, I understand. Like, I'm just curious if it sounds better than like past audio setups.
Mm-hmm. You look like you're doing good. And
yeah, but then it just keeps on going and going and going.
Oh, you weren't caught by the wall. You hit another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, people seem to think it sounds good.
Excellent.
You're using the RE20 as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm just like wondering like distance and stuff like that. Like the distance makes it sound okay.
Did you always have the running up wall or
Yeah, I've
wall
always
jumping or whatever it is? Is the cat? The cat could always do that by himself.
Yep, by herself. I'm pretty sure it's a she.
Yeah.
Named Kiki.
I forgot the name was Kiki. She's like, what? What? Is that supposed to be something? It's gonna be look at you right there. She's
What?
like, okay, I'm gonna put my head back down here.
Alright, there we go. I made it. Well, I hope I don't regret not going upwards there. I got my suit back.
Oh. I wonder what would happen if you went up there.
I know. It's too late now. Well, so is this Super Bowl gonna? It looks like it's gonna be decided by a field goal. Is it like? Are they even close? There's 11 seconds left.
I mean, I don't even know who's playing. Well, I think you said Philadelphia is one of them.
Yeah, Philadelphia and Kansas City. I don't know what that does.
Oh no, we haven't talked about the Disney Illusion, whatever it's called, Illusion Island or something like that. I mean, it's only $40 for the physical.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Like it's a good, looks like a good couch co-op game.
Yeah, I bet it's probably. You know what it makes me think of? I have not played through these games, but like it kind of makes me think of like Rayman.
Yeah.
Origins type.
Yeah. The Rayman games. Rayman.
The Rayman game.
oh, Rayman. There it is. Guess they 8 seconds left, and you just.
What? Something changed?
Yeah. Kansas City got a field goal, and there's 8 seconds left.
Does that make them ahead when they were previously not ahead?
It was tied.
Ah.
So they just won, I guess.
Who could say?
Oh, there's this over here.
I
didn't even see this.
But yeah, I'm not sure if the game will actually play. Probably not really play like Castle of Illusion.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be inspired to extent, right?
Maybe
with that name. Like they're obviously trying to get people to think about it.
Is the art style like its own thing, or is it based on like a current show?
Ooh, oh, I got the Big Shot module.
Like, do you know, as someone with kids who may watch shows?
Oh, I mean, no, I don't think so.
So you think it's its own thing?
I mean, yes, I think it is, yeah. How many things do I got? So I have 3 more slots for upgrades.
Oh, I haven't seen that screen before.
Oh, the
Where you get to see all your equipment. Go Meowtroid. Why can't Meowtroid crawl?
that's a darn good question. I was laughing because
You're wondering why Rygar couldn't
yeah,
crawl.
why can't Rygar crawl?
In PS2 Rygar.
Yeah. It's only funny because I was, I had to capture some footage of Rygar on the PS2, and I played like the very beginning of the game, and I'd never really played very far into it. But there's this part where you have to go, like, before you get any power-ups, and there's like a tunnel that literally goes up to like his chest. Like, it is like, and you have to get an item. It's like you can slide through it, right? Like a like a Strider type slide, or like any game with a slide. And it's just like, this is like supposed to be the most powerful warrior in Rome or whatever, and he can't like bend over just like a teeny little bit. Like, he doesn't even need to crawl. Like, he just needs to like hunch over just like a touch.
Do you even know what equipment you would get that would let you do that?
Yeah. I mean, you get a slide is like a slide move. It's like the first thing you get, and you get it pretty soon afterwards. It's just really funny to think, like, like, that's obnoxious. You know what I mean? Like, it's. I get that you want to like have a reason to, like, you need this move, but like, make it just like a teeny little bit like more necessary.
Yes. Well, I was telling you how I think it's interesting that that in Stray, you are the one that can go through tiny holes and tiny openings and between bars and things like that. Full-size NPCs cannot, but you can. So it's interesting to see.
That's cool. That's cool that's like, it kind of flips that on its head,
Yeah. But I definitely remember in like Fatal Frame 4, that I played last year, I ran into a few situations where it's like only a child or a small woman could fit through this hole.
Ooh, what's this?
The woman I'm playing as doesn't look not small. But then like later you could play as a different character who was smaller. So only
I gotta play Stray. I want to play that.
You should.
How long is it? It's not terribly long as far as I know, right?
No, it's not. Like, probably like in the ballpark of 10 hours. It might have even been less. I mean, I did a lot of exploring looking for other items in one of the larger kind of open-ended areas.
Immediately died there.
It.
What's that?
I said, yeah, you should play it.
I shot that turtle. I gotta go to the bathroom again. I'll be right back.
Gaming Boy says, you may be overhyping Stray in your head. It's pretty boring, and I often like quiet, boring games. I mean, I did not like... I wasn't like super like mega in love with it or anything, but it was pleasant. I think I expected more out of it, maybe, than I got out of it, but it was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. I after playing it, I was kind of surprised that it was on the game of the. It was like one like the top 5. It was like it was one of the candidates for game of the year and the game of the year show. I Eric Schussler, solid 7 out of 10. That's probably about right. That's probably about right. It was good, but it was not like life changing or nothing. What's interesting is I wonder if they originally planned to have humans in the world, then they replaced them with the robots because they're like, oh, humans are going to be like too hard to animate. Which I liked the robot aesthetic quite a bit because I mean they all have like CRT faces and stuff. Is there a new video coming? I mean, of course, there will be a new video happening. But I mean, I'm my thing is Analog Frontiers Part 4, which I have gotten back into. Still got a long ways to go, but it has been reinitiated. I'm not sure what's the next upcoming thing on Coury's end.
I'm still planning on that. I have the Ambernick.
Oh
that
yeah.
Moving along. But like like having been, I didn't get as much done, like work-wise, I guess, like while being sick. I kind of was hoping that like, oh, I got some time to do this. What's going on here?
Eric Schussler says, riddle me this try. Why did Resident Evil Remake feel so monumental when it came out 6 years after the original, but The Last of Us Part 1 coming out a decade later feels so unnecessary? I mean, I am under the impression that Last of Us Part 1 is pretty, actually pretty technically impressive. And, I think it's important to remember that in the original cutscenes were, rendered. Wasn't actually in real time, and now they are. But that said, I mean, there's clearly a sense of diminishing returns, in generation on generation over the years. I mean, that video that you're editing right now. I mean, it was. I won't spoil exactly what it was, but the video you were talking, like, you had to capture Rygar footage for this.
Yeah.
We did a little I guess let's watch of sorts with John.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how the PS2 was just so, or I mean, that not just the PS2, but that generation, like the leap over the previous generation is probably the greatest leap in graphics that we've ever had. Like just in the ability to render, reasonably realistic characters and environments, compared to the immediately preceding generation, which, at one point I thought N64 was too real to be real, but, it's got its limitations.
I'll tell you one thing though, like I am definitely excited to play Last of Us Part 1, having watched the show.
Yeah. Is there a new episode tonight?
Actually, for some reason, it came out early this week,
and I watched Super Bowl.
Yeah, I watched it this afternoon. I think it came out on Friday for some reason.
How many episodes are in this season?
You know, I think there's only 9, which is, I feel like it can probably, it's going to be something where it could have benefited from having maybe like 2 more. Because like where they're at now, so this is episode 5, and they just, like the whole thing happened with Henry and Sam, like the guy and his little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the game, it happens in Pittsburgh.
Ah.
I don't know if you recall any of that bit.
A little bit. But I mean, but back to RE1 remake. I mean, that I consider still the peak of pre-rendered graphics. Did that spook you, Sandy? So he's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here."
Sandy's like, nope.
But yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 0 came out later, but Resident Evil 1's visuals are just much more impressive.
Oh, come on.
It's the same graphics quality, but I just feel the art is better in Resident Evil 1, the art and atmosphere.
This is like,
and the lighting, the art of the lighting is better. Like RE0 just kind of feels flatter in a lot of areas. It just doesn't have the same visual impact. But I still like RE0. And then like Baten Kaitos was another fairly big pre-rendered background game for the generation, but I've never really been too sure if it's like really pre-renders or if they're more like painted or maybe a mixture. Like I've always been a little unsure also of like how the backgrounds in Final Fantasy 9 and Chrono Cross are. Like to me they kind of look like a mixture of like pre-renders and like painted backgrounds. Like I don't know if it's like painted or like digitally painted, but Rears to Blood is saying the Packers won the Super Bowl, but I don't know what city Packers are from. Is that St. Louis?
No, that's not what happened. No.
Oh, are they not in the Super Bowl?
They are not in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
All right, where am I going?
Oh, hey, we do have Mr. Mr. Dots here. Says he's been traveling for work for the past 3 weeks. You know, on the Backloggery stream, we had several people alarmed that you had not been present for some weeks.
All right, where am I going? Right up here.
Do you like this better than Axiom Verge?
Yes. 100%.
I wish I liked Axiom Verge more than I do.
Yeah, me too.
It's good.
And I wonder how the second one is, though.
Yeah, I am.
Ooh, we got a green
I have
one.
it. I'm going to play. I mean, I liked Axiom Verge, but I didn't like entirely outright love it. Ooh, I like that one.
I do too.
Oh, Garakian came across your video with the Happy Console Gamer on Fantasy Star.
Oh wow, that was like 4 years ago. Is that 20? End of
Gosh, it
2019, I
feels even
think.
longer ago than that, maybe.
Because that was right at the end of, I think before I moved, I think. Oh, hey, guess what? One moment. Covering guessing algorithms.
Oh, and by the way, there was I meant to get back to this and I got sidetracked. There was a $5 super chat with no comment from Mega X6.
Thank you.
Thank you so much as always. Yeah, Axiom Verge was good but laborious. I mean, that's it. I feel it tried to implement too much stuff and be too big.
So I gotta one more thing and then I can go to the final area.
Brutes McGee says, I liked Axiom Verge 2 much more. It's a completely different game. I didn't like Axiom Verge 1 that much either. 2 is better. Oh. That's very encouraging to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you say that, honestly, like Axiom Verge made such a splash, and like now I'm thinking about, I'm like, I can't even think of like what I've heard people say about Axiom Verge 2.
I mean, it was like a shadow drop, I think.
Was it?
Like it just like kind of happened.
Huh.
I feel like.
I just heard Sandy burp from. She's downstairs again. I just heard her burp all the way from up here.
Oh, so is this gonna work? Let's find out. So the missile launchers will let me like kind of bounce in the air.
Dr. Lilo says, I feel like Axiom Verge came out at a time when people were starved for Metroidvanias. These days, they're $1 a dozen. Might as well play a really good one like Hollow Knight or Ori. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, we've talked about how kind of burnt out we are. Something like this, though, that seems like so, like, kind of small and tightly designed feels more...
It's way more appealing to me.
Way more appealing, yeah. You know, I mean, I was thinking about that not that long ago, how, you know, when Shadow Complex came out, it was like such a huge deal. It's like, oh my gosh, this game's just like Super Metroid. Ah, I haven't played a game like this since Super Metroid. And now every game is Shadow Complex.
That rocket jump, they don't really tell you that you can do it. But it makes a big deal. Oh, I got a yellow one. Do I want to switch the P filter? Maybe.
Ooh,
I mean,
let's see.
It's good. It's literally called urine.
Ew.
I love it. I mean, I didn't read the name of it, but then I was like, oh, you know, like it just makes too much sense.
I mean, I don't know where the blue is coming from, but I mean, it's not a bad color scheme. But I like the green better. Green is my monochrome color of choice. You know, speaking of, I was saying earlier that I'll test out the Game Boy stuff. I'll give my impressions live.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. I mean, I sent you a photograph of like the options. Oh, another one. I'm just doing all the coffee stain. Oh, we're gonna do the coffee stain. We're switching. I'm just switching every single time, which I think makes it more fun. I like the coffee stain. Oh yeah, we talked. Did we talk a little bit about Miracle Warriors in that video? But that was like I didn't really care for Miracle Warriors. All right, so where's the person that I can give the cartridges to? I forgot what that person is. I'm gonna see if I can get up here. Oh, you know, I forgot that I even had the dash. I guess that just goes to show how important it was, huh?
Oh, you've got another. Oh, did you go back to an older color?
No, I got another one like right after. This one's called
What's
Coffee.
It called?
Coffee Stain.
Well, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I like it.
Where do I download? Where do I download the Game Boy?
If you go into like the Nintendo Online, if you
okay, I'm on the store.
I mean, it should be available on the store also. How many things am I missing here? I have almost all the palettes. I have.
See what kind of new demos they got.
There's a Sea of Stars demo.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There's also Octopath demo. There's a Kirby demo. I tried to see a Sea of Stars demo, and I like just moved my character around, fought one battle. I'm like, I know I'm buying this. I quit and then erased it.
Yeah.
I just knew straight up that.
Wait, what is this? Why is there a demo for Forgotten Anne? It says estimated release date 2/13/2023. I have a physical Switch copy of that. Was it like physical first? That's really strange.
Yeah, that is weird.
What is up with that? Oh, there's a Dragon Quest Treasures demo? Oh, dang. I'm going to download that. Didn't know about that.
I got the decoder.
Like Square Enix and those demos, man.
Yeah. I'm going to explore just a little bit, see if I can get these items over here.
I feel like demos are easiest to find on Switch than other systems. Like PS5 is like, you may as well not even try to find demos on the system itself. Like,
really?
It's a little easier, like if you go through the web interface, but and then just like have it download to your system. You never know what you might find in Switch demos though. Like some of them were like, oh. Like that, you know, that I discovered that Jet Cave Adventure via demo, which I kind of ended up liking. And if there's any still available, it was who was it?
Did you get it? I mean, obviously you ordered it.
Yeah, I ordered that. I wish the Xbox version had a physical though, because I bet it runs at a better frame rate.
Ooh, what did we get?
I mean, it's 30 on Switch. It's not that bad for the pace of the game. Yeah, there's some good demos here, but like
Nicotine.
I've already got Octopath pre-ordered on PS5. Kirby. I mean, there's zero doubt I'm buying that.
I kind of wish that Kirby was going to be $40. I feel like it should be $40. If Metroid Prime is $40, I feel like Kirby should have been $40.
Yeah.
Unless there's something more to it.
I wish Kirby didn't have the outlines around the characters. Like that's the one thing that's sapping a little enthusiasm for that release. I mean, maybe I'll get used to it, but it doesn't feel like the backgrounds, at a glance at least, look pretty similar to the original art style. And so the characters themselves feel out of line with the original art style. But anyway, let's... Oh, here, Nintendo Switch Online. Yes. Wow, this is like loading extraordinarily slowly.
I feel like this would be a pretty easy game to get 100% in also.
Oh yeah, probably.
I mean, I'm close now. I mean...
I'm kind of excited to try that Dragon Quest Treasures demo after the stream. I've been curious about, but unsure. I'm glad that they at least made Game Boy available without the expansion pass.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat.
That's a nice move. I don't even know what all games are on here. I mean, I saw the ones that were on the Direct.
I mean, it's like exactly that.
I mean, I wasn't sure if there might be some that they didn't show. Downloading so slow.
It seems like a weird shortcut. I feel like there's gonna be a jetpack or something.
Dragon Quest was going, but now it's not.
But is the Game Boy stuff done? Or is it still?
No, because I started downloading Dragon Quest first, which is over halfway, but now it's like almost frozen. Well, it might be going a little bit. Oh yeah, it's going. It's just kind of slow. It'll finish soon enough.
I think a lot of people always wonder, like, oh, you know, like, why does it matter, like, how these run versus, you know, like, if you just, like, have a hacked Switch, so you can just, like, play all this stuff anyways. And, you know, I think I say this a lot, and I've said it, like, before, like, on stream, but I say it a lot to you. It's like, you know, I'd rather just play the, like for stuff like that, I'm more interested in, like, the official, like, way that it plays, because so many people are caught up on, like, I want my system to play everything.
Yeah. And it's more like, to me, it's more like
the last thing I want is just, like, have every single system play everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just be like,
yeah,
you know, like,
I mean,
stuff that's meant to play. That's been like,
it can be interesting, you know, for sure, to have, you know, those sorts of. I mean, you know, I've been messing around with it on the Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty interesting. Some of the emulation that you can now do in retail mode.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of look at it like, here's a way to look at this set of games, you know?
Yeah.
Like this sort of curated set of games. And that's why I like looking at a lot of the official methods, because it's like it
also,
lets
like,
you,
what did they decide what's important?
what did they, and sometimes they don't always make the right choices, or at least the choices that I would prefer necessarily.
Oh, I just heard I thought it was my Switch making that noise.
No, it looks like it finished. So let's check it out. I mean, it did look at the very least like they had, you know, colors, you know, color palettes that were of DMG and
The passcode is meow.
style. Settings. So you've got Game Boy Color style, and I assume color games will just automatically be in color. Show controls in game, no. Both North America and European versions? Why? That's. I wonder why they give you that option here. Reproduce classic feel.
That's like the blur. It's kind of neat.
Oh, but what's interesting is,
And it
when
adds a
it makes it darker. Like, I mean, I'm not playing the game, but like it shows on like the preview, it like actually makes it darker.
yeah, and it adds a grid pattern.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm.
I really liked what they did with oh, there's not that many games here.
No.
Why have European and Japanese, or European and American versions?
What? I feel like I'm I'm way too far. I'm just adjusting the camera a little bit.
Oh yeah, this looks
Sliding off the camera. Now I'm too far
this looks
way.
fantastic.
There we go. I guess we'll just put it back where it was.
I wish the blur could be the motion blur could be separated from
Yeah.
like on the Analog Pocket you can choose, right? You can choose to have the grid and disable.
Eric Schussler's asking what Joy-Cons those are. I assume they're the Zelda ones, the Skyward
Yeah.
Sword ones.
Yeah, there's not that many Joy-Cons that I actually. I feel Nintendo really struck out with colors this generation, in my opinion.
I just wish it wasn't so hard to get two of the same
the
color.
exact same. Yeah.
And I
like the
understand
original
why
gray,
they did it.
but huh?
Well, I mean, I understand why they did it, because, you know, like, they want people to be able to have different controllers, like, if they're playing with the Joy-Cons.
But see, in most games, I prefer to not have blur. But this is really good, and it fills the screen from top to bottom.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's 7x, but then there's an option they have a smaller screen, right, which I think is 5.
But yeah, on the actual screen here, this looks amazing. Great grid pattern. That was really good. Let's look at a GBC game.
Is anybody who's played this, is this the last area? Am I close to the end of the game here? Or I still got a ways to go?
Oh, there's like this super long intro on Warrior Land 3. They let you choose Japanese. Yeah, the grid looks pretty crisp here too. It's like it's kind of shockingly crisp. I almost wonder if they're like faking it somehow because it's like it almost looks like higher res than I would expect. Like I'd be curious to look at under a macro lens and see what's actually going on there. It looks really good.
What's the deal with like so many frogs? Like I feel like it's a Blaster Master reference to an extent.
Caro Blaster.
Well, it has a lot of like the way you can jump in and out of your robot suit makes me think of Blaster Master.
Yeah, yeah. I turned off the grid. But yeah, I mean, like on a glance, like the scaling looks amazing. You know, I was so opposed, or not opposed necessarily, but a little unsure of hold functions in modern Tetris for a long time.
And now you miss it.
And now I was like, oh, you beat this up. I was like, oh.
Oh, there's more.
Well, really, the thing that I missed the most, though, is the instant drop by hitting up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it also looks good if you're not using the grid. I saw someone say something somewhere like, apparently I forget if it was the Game Boy or the GBA emulator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how, like it must have been with a hack system or something, but someone ran like some sort of like checker through it that like I guess you can check the accuracy of emulators and stuff like that, and apparently like it ranked really well.
Really?
Yeah, and just in terms of accuracy and stuff. Okay, come on, I need a one piece here. This is ridiculous. Well. You know, I never thought about but that when you lose, it makes a meh sound that sounds like when you hit a boss in Super Mario Land. Is Mario Land 1 seriously not on here?
I was surprised that it's not on there, but yeah,
That's
you're right.
Really surprising. I mean, I'm sure it's coming, but kind of like what? So what is the let's see what the menu looks like if I just say North American countries. What does it look like now? There we go. Gargoyle's Quest is a good pick for the launch lineup.
Yeah.
Let's check out Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing you should play. Yeah, it's missing Donkey Kong, but I mean, these are all stuff that they want to save to not have like right out of the gate.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll have most of the key first-party essentials eventually. Yeah, so Alone in the Dark, like it's such a weird thing to be on here, but like I don't know what to expect. Like it looked like it had shockingly detailed graphics and smooth animation.
Looks like that Resident Evil game. What was it, like Wasn't there a Resident Evil?
Yeah, Gaiden. I think it's really good actually, but it's different. It's like this is. Like, have you tried this on here?
No.
Like, it doesn't look great, but it's interesting. Like, it's definitely interesting how they're making this work.
Oh, come on. Am I gonna die here? What happens if I jump out? Listen, I get back in.
Oh, now I'm shooting spiders. Like the actual action's happening in like more of an overhead type thing. Oh, so like cuts away to like a different battle screen, essentially, kind of like Resident Evil Gaiden. Yeah, the animation in this is so interesting. Like the actual sprites don't look very good, but the animation kind of sells them anyway. I mean, this has potential. It's interesting. Definitely interesting.
Oh, come on! Please don't send me really far
But
back.
yeah, that's pretty impressive. I could absolutely see myself, you know, just especially some of the quicker games like Kirby's Dream Land or you know, when they have Super Mario Land 1 on. Of course, Super Mario Land 2 is not all that long either, really. But like, I could see like, oh, you know, if I was traveling with my Switch and I just wanted to play something really quick, I'll use some Game Boy games. But I could also see myself, you know, choosing to bring my analog pocket instead if I really wanted to play Game Boy games, you know?
Yeah.
Because then I got a heck of a lot more choice. Do you know what games are on the GBA right now?
I don't.
Can anyone in the chat give me the list? I'm just curious. Not that it's going to like sell me on the expansion pass or anything.
Well, it was someone in our Discord saying like I really wanted GBA, or was it Henry Clark really wanted GBA just to see what it looks like on an OLED screen?
I mean, I'm curious what they did with like the color palette, because you know GBA can be a little oversaturated. I mean, the same can be true of Game Boy Color. I wasn't paying that much attention to what the colors were like. I don't. When I was testing it just now, I don't think they looked oversaturated though. Mario Advance 4. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they did show that off. Fire Emblem, that's a good starting one. Minish Cap, WarioWare. That's a strong starting lineup for sure. I mean, it's a little funny, the Mario Advance 4, but
yeah,
it does have but it is, you know, it's a little redundant, but at the same time, it's cool for them to offer that just because it does have those unique levels.
Yeah.
You know?
But I'm not sure. Does it have them on there?
I'm pretty sure some of the video in the
it does
direct, I'm pretty sure it showed something that was not in the normal game. Yeah, some people in the chat are saying
it has all the e-reader levels.
Can you also use, like, I remember, like, I've got an e-reader card that like gave you like a like a real e-reader card, because I bought some of them back in the day. I remember I have a card that has like a feather, like from Mario World. Like you can get that to use in like Mario 3. I forget if you could use it in the main game or only in like the e-reader levels. But it's still like kind of a crazy thing. Like, oh, they added different power-ups. That is exactly what this game is, Rally Lancer.
I mean, I feel like this is the last area because it's like forcing me to use up all my power-ups, but maybe not. I'm still missing 2 power-ups. I got a boss here.
They could be hidden, or they could be like a New Game Plus thing.
Yeah.
The problem with that test tube where you freed them and then blew them up. Feel kind of bad.
Well, I probably deserved it.
We have not played Demon's Throttle on stream. That's something that I keep forgetting I have. I'd like to do that sometime. Can that thing not break through that?
It can't.
That Mega Man gate?
Meow.
Meow.
How are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on my Demon Throttle. I ordered it with Broforce a year and a half ago.
Was that really that long ago?
It was a year ago on 4th of July.
Wow. I'm still waiting for my Gato Roboto because I ordered it with Trek to Yomi.
But I got Trek to Yomi. Did you get the PS5 version?
I'm sure I did. Let me check.
Did I do this already?
It was special reserve, right?
Yeah. I've done all this before, so what am I trying to do here?
Let me see.
Ooh, look at that. I found another palette.
What?
It's the Tamagato. Ooh, look at... Ooh, I know I've been saying I'm going to switch them every time, but I don't know about that one.
It says, like, shipment ready.
Maybe they're just waiting for, like, a...
I don't know. This is weird. I wonder if it was delayed because of like the cartridge situation. Because it was Gato Roboto that had the replacement cart, right?
Yes. So maybe that's what they're waiting for.
That's what could have held it up, but it's acting like it should be shipped. I should send an email just to get some clarification on what the situation is.
Get
I didn't
deets.
Yeah, I didn't realize because it's acting like it shipped like at the end of last year. I'm pretty sure I ain't got it. Let me check.
That's when you know.
That's when you know you got too many games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have Gato Roboto or Trek to Yomi. Normally, I mean, I remembered though. I remembered correctly.
Yeah.
But I was just like, since it was so strange that they acted like it shipped, I was like, okay, I gotta check. I'm pretty positive though, I did not get them. I don't have them, so I should send an email just in case. I know that's very strange.
Where am I supposed to be going? I'm gonna try up here.
I was just now trying the Alone in the Dark on GBC, and it seems visually interesting.
Is it the new Nightmare?
Good, but interesting. I mean, it seems like it could be good, but I was just messing around with it. I can't judge it.
What am I doing here? I can't go up there. What am I looking for? I'm gonna go back to the thing. I think that I know.
It seems like everything's pretty straightforward so far.
Yeah.
Well, there's something below that
right,
room
I know.
where you go up those tanks.
I mean, that's like literally the only thing I can think of. But to get to it, I have to...
Well, it didn't look that hard.
I have to swim through, though, without getting hit.
I think we must have been thinking of something different.
Oh, there's a safe spot right here. That makes it a lot easier. A lot less painful. Unless there's something I'm missing in here.
In Metroid likes, I mean, I usually just collect what I can. Like I'll go out of my way to, collect what I can. But like I usually don't stress about if I don't have everything.
Yeah.
Unless it's like unless I'm going back for 100%. But I'm not worried about getting 100% on basically any game on my first time through. Like 100% is like, I liked this game enough that I want to 100% it, and I'm generally going to be doing that on a replay unless the game is, I guess a lot of modern games kind of tend to be structured where they're fairly completable on on an initial run.
There we go.
Is it like dual stick when you're driving that?
No.
Sub?
No.
Because like you're like, it looks like you're able to back up while shooting the other way.
Well, when you start shooting, you you stay firing that way until you let go of the button.
So wait, what did that accomplish? Is this a new room you're in?
Yeah.
Has anyone played Scarlet Nexus? I haven't. I've played like the tutorial area. It seems pretty cool, but I have not played it.
Oh, this is the point of no return.
The Poner.
Yes. Oh, give it. This game's give me a Poner.
That's not what I was thinking of when I said Poner out loud, but you know. I think Coury gave himself a giggle fit.
Oh man, they got me. I never heard that term though for it. Which, you know.
I mean, I've seen people. I've never. I mean, that was the first time I ever attempted saying it out loud, which, you know, I guess kind of made it seem unintentional. But I've seen it written, the PONR. You know.
Yeah.
You know, so I was just like, well, oops. I guess you'd call it the Poner.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
You know?
You're not wrong. It's funny.
Are you now going to think of that every time?
Every time.
Every time.
Yes.
Every game henceforth.
Yes. a raging Poner. Game swinging that Poner around like it owns the place. I'd never heard it before.
I mean, I've never heard it said out loud before until I just thought, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try saying PONR as a word out loud. And then, you know, I guess it had unintended consequences. Dad 1153 did a spit take, and now there's Sprite all over his Switch Pro controller. we owe him $70 now.
Oh. Do I want to do this? I'm going to do it. I should have quit the game, then backed out, and like duplicated my save file.
Pixel Phoenix thinks this is something for the Here's My Question podcast.
Wait, saying that?
I don't know. Bringing it up in some fashion at some point. I don't know.
It's good. Someone said, "Oh, it's the family friendliness of the stream," but I mean it's exactly what. There's nothing inherently wrong with what was said, right? I mean, is the last boss? Watch the last boss be super difficult.
I mean, it could be. Michael's Workshop says Gorilla Tape just canceled their sponsorship.
So there's gonna be like a boss rush or something.
Chris V thinks the last boss is way easier than a few earlier.
Oh.
We'll see if that holds true in your estimation. Every once in a while, I just look at the cat's face in the upper right. And
Yeah.
It brings me joy. It brings me joy again.
They're hitting me with a lot of save checkpoints. How many times I gotta hit this guy?
I mean, he doesn't even look hard. He just lives forever.
It just takes a lot of hits. Maybe that was the last boss.
Yeah, and to the left is just the escape sequence.
Is there gonna be an escape sequence? There's gotta be, right?
Cat's face is just Doom Guy, but cute.
That's a good observation, I think. You know, it's too bad I didn't finish, whatchamacallit on stream, Blast Core, for whatever reason. Or else I would have, like, if I had finished Blast Core,
yeah,
on stream, like, that was not going to happen, but I would have finished every game on stream that I played so far this year.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, right? It was the Axlay and Blast Core and then this. I mean, unless I haven't finished this yet, so I can't say for sure. But
is this only your third stream of the year?
Is it? I think so. Oh, well, I mean, we did the one on New Year's Day.
With Chris, right?
Yeah. We didn't finish anything in that, but we weren't trying to finish that.
No.
I mean, I guess we finished some of the Turtles games.
You streamed like 3 weeks in a row just because of like special circumstances through like December and January. Like it was just like you were streaming like the Evercade, and something else. Like there was just things that like you had to stream.
Right.
So these rooms, are they just locked because like you have to kill all the enemies?
I think so, yeah. Yep.
Eric Schussler's on the final boss of Metroid Dread right now. I remember that being pretty intense, but in a good way. Like it definitely took me a lot of attempts, but it was pretty satisfying to learn that boss fight. I mean, the game as a whole, I wish it made more of an impression, but the final boss fight was pretty cool.
I don't remember the final boss at all.
So you had to do countering very well a whole lot.
Oh, okay. I do remember now.
Like, there was not much room for error, which made it seem pretty scary at first, but then, like...
Once you got it.
Once you started learning the patterns, it was like, oh. It was a pretty good fight. I wish the game just didn't leave me feeling like, well, that sure was another Metroidvania.
Yeah.
It was a very good one. But I don't know. Like the environments themselves did not leave the impression that I wanted them to.
Yes.
I think just because like the game just really kind of funnels you.
Yeah. But I mean, there's
A lot
people
of
that
it's
really, really like it. That, you know, would say like, oh, you know, it's kind of amazing how much freedom it gives you. And I mean, I'd trust them over myself, but
yeah, I guess so. I mean, to me, it felt more like an illusion of freedom. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a lot more flexible than it seemed to me.
yeah.
Because most people just seem to think it's absolutely amazing. And we're, you know, relative outliers and thinking like, oh yeah, it was good. Isn't every game technically an illusion of freedom? I mean, perhaps. But I mean, for me, like I just kind of felt like every time I got a new item, I'm like, oh, I've seen like a million things that I can destroy with this, or a million
Yeah.
doors I can open with this, and then you realize most of those are actually just shortcuts between rooms you've already been to,
Yeah.
and not like actually opening up that many new options in terms of going to new places. And there was like, for me, there was like the thing that I live for in Metroidvanias is that like that moment when you emerge from one area and you're like, then you're coming out of this door that was like high up that you like saw like early in the game and you couldn't get there. And you're like, oh yeah, this place. Like I didn't have that feeling as much, but a lot of that could also just be genre burnout as much as you know, any fault of the game's own. Are you fighting your friend?
Yeah, the mouse took over his body.
Oh no. Mr. New says a floppy should always be a save symbol in every game. You're not wrong. It's honestly kind of amazing how much that symbol has endured, really. Like I feel like it's still often used like not even like ironically or for something retro.
Ugh. I feel like
I think
I get an idea. Unless there's like
yeah, I mean, I think on a few of those passes, you were being greedy, trying to squeeze a hit in when it was just not feasible.
Yeah. You make me sit through the whole thing again? Come on. Okay, good. I wonder if there's multiple forms though.
They changed the save symbol in Microsoft Office, I'd be so lost. Yeah, that's a good question, Zayzad. What would they replace it with? I mean, you know, the great thing about floppies is like it almost is a symbol at this point. I mean, it's not something that people use. So it's like, it is like the universal symbol for saving. You don't even need to know what they are. Oh, you can, does it hurt him when you jump on his head?
It doesn't.
But I guess you can kind of wait out that phase by doing it. Because that seems like maybe the toughest phase to actually like squeeze a hit in on.
Unless
shooting down works.
it does.
Hmm. That was about a piston thing. See USB floppy drives pop up at the thrift store. You know, I should get something like that, actually. I've never really thought about USB floppy drives. But that would be a pretty handy thing to have, actually. Do they still make USB floppy drives, or do you have to get them at thrift stores?
All right, well, can I go back and save? Does it let me go back and save? No, I can't get back up there.
Oh, you got... Is it going...
No, I gotta do another one now. There you are, Kiki.
Let's see what happens. Is that a dog?
Yeah, they want to switch body. They want the dog to be in the cat's body, just like the mouse went into the guy's body.
Good luck.
Is that it? Oh, what's gonna happen here? Why did that happen? Did I just like get really lucky there? And I accidentally jumped out?
Wait, what?
What? Was that supposed to happen? Maybe this is all
Is
scripted.
that a cutscene? I couldn't tell if that was like a cutscene.
Oh, when I jumped out? I don't think so. I think I accidentally hit the button and like stood there for a long time thinking it was going to be a cutscene. Alert. The hydroglobular tubes.
Hydroglobular tubes.
But it's the dog's name is Barkley. It's me, Barkley. The dog is killing the guy. There goes the dog.
Is dog friend now?
I guess I'm chasing it.
Where's your human friend? Are we gonna be able to save him?
I don't know. I don't know. It looks like we're both escaping together, though.
Or is your human friend the dog? On mistake, I don't know.
Maybe. Mission complete. Completion rate 78%.
That was an easy escape sequence.
Yeah. Finish time 3 hours, 7 minutes. I could see why, you know, like he has that timer though. Oh.
Yeah.
A game by Doinksoft. What a name, Doinksoft. I bet you there's if you get a higher percentage, there's a additional ending.
The human escapes.
Yeah, or something. A true ending. Well, I mean, I think that the best part about this game is that it's now introduced the term "poner" into our lexicon. You can add it. The game's it's hit me with a poner. So if I do this, I wonder if it'll take me back to the pre-point of no return. Yeah, it looks like it is.
Oh, we got a $10 super chat from Andy64. Thank you again. Saying it's nice to see that the games we played in 2022 episode is doing well. That means many people read my Craig Stadler comment that was immortalized during the Splatterhouse segment. Yes, that your comment when I was editing and saw your comment. That was when I looked up and found the Craig Statler Rickroll video, which was incredible.
There's really quickly.
Yeah, that video is doing like weirdly well.
Yeah,
like, weirdly well.
I don't know if it got shared someplace or what.
I have no idea why it's doing so well.
Something's happening here because now I've got it's like taking me inside the ship when I like loaded my save.
Eric Schuessler has a $2 super chat saying, "Poner, I barely know her."
We've been pwned.
I hope we haven't accidentally increased the default like dirty level of our stream.
I don't know.
Which normally revolves only around, you know, dog poop.
Yeah.
That's like the default level.
Well, I mean, the good news is, you know, we'll only, like, how often are we going to hit poners in games, like, on stream? Not very often.
I mean, honestly, you hope for pretty often if you want to finish.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say it.
Oh no, Trout Butter says putting Poner in Google brings up questionable results.
Yeah.
That is concerning.
I mean, typically, I can't. It's too much. It's too much. Do I say it?
Say what?
I mean, ideally, like if you got a Poner, you want to finish.
I mean,
I can't. I'm sorry. Like that's too much. That's too much. But I needed to just get it out there as I quit the title here.
That is, you know, I guess what a point of no return is.
This is so bad. It is. All right. Well, that is. You know, I totally made a joke yesterday, a pretty bad dad joke, like off the top of my head, and haven't heard any place else. You know?
A Coury Carlson original dad joke.
Yeah,
right, let's hear it.
My wife was making muffins, and like they like out of the consistency of them like made them fall apart. And my son was like, you know, it's like the muffin's falling apart. I'm like, you know what? Ain't muffin wrong with that.
That's a pretty good one, Dad.
Yeah, just like off the top of my head. Like I had no
just that dad came naturally there. Babe's dad is very proud of you.
like that's not even I mean, I heard my wife over there, she's like you know, like laughing. But That's good. That's good.
Whew.
Well, I think that's going to do it. We got some credits in Gato Roboto. I'll figure out what the new game plus is, etc. Maybe tomorrow as I capture some footage of this. But thank you to everybody who donated tonight and choosing to tune in to this, along with the Super Bowl or instead of the Super
Or
Bowl.
not along with the Super Bowl.
Yes, or instead. But thank you, and I hope everyone has a great week. And that's that. Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.